A warm welcome to one and all. I hope you all are fit and fine and taking the necessary precautions to prevent the infectious disease that is COVID-19. So in this video, I am going to discuss digestion of proteins in detail. So without any further delay, let's begin our topic. Digestion of proteins. Firstly, proteins. Proteins are the polymers of amino acids interlinked by peptide bonds which are formed by the loss of water molecules between adjacent amino acids. The proteins are digested by proteolytic enzymes called as proteases or peptidases. On the basis of site of action, peptidases are divided into two different categories, that is endopeptidases and exopeptidases. For example, this is a polypeptide chain in which individual amino acids are joined by peptide bonds. If any enzyme hydrolyzes internal peptide bonds, it is called as endopeptidases, for example pepsin and trypsin, while enzyme hydrolyzing terminal peptide bonds and separate individual amino acid, it is called as exopeptidases, for example carboxypeptidases and aminopeptidases. Digestion of proteins starts in the stomach and completes in the intestine. So let's take up buccal cavity first. In buccal cavity, there is no proteolytic enzyme, hence no digestion of proteins takes place here in the buccal cavity. From buccal cavity, food now goes into the stomach. Inside stomach, food undergoes mechanical as well as chemical change. So let's talk about mechanical change first. In mechanical change, wall of stomach undergoes periodic muscular contractions of about 15 to 20 times per minute. This churns and breaks the food mechanically and mixes it thoroughly with gastric juice for proper action of enzymes. Thus, due to muscular contraction, food is broken down and also food is mixed with the gastric juice for proper action of enzymes. Next one is the chemical change. In the stomach, food meets thin, colorless and acidic gastric juice secreted by the gastric glands. Gastric juice contains mucus or mucin secreted by the goblet cells, HCl by oxantic cells, two proenzymes. Proenzymes means they are inactive, pepsinogen and prorenin secreted by peptic cells, and also a gastric lipase secreted by the peptic cells. The secretion of gastric juices from fundic gastric glands is controlled via polypeptide hormone named as gastrin, released by argentafin cells of pyloric mucosa. This gastrin hormone reaches fundic gastric glands via bloodstream and accelerates secretion of gastric juice. Here in this diagram, first one is the LS of stomach. Stomach comprises of four main parts. First one is the cardiac part, into which contents of esophagus empties. Second one is the upper curved part, that is the fundus, containing fundigastric glands. Third one is the central part, that is the body, and fourth one is the pyloric part, which opens into the duodenum. Stomach also contain inner folds called as rugae, which disappears as stomach expands. In stomach, food is broken down mechanically due to muscular contractions, which is about 15 to 20 times per minute. Second diagram shows the LS of fundigastric gland present in the fundus region of the stomach. So here in this diagram you can see different type of cells. First one are the goblet cell releasing mucus. Second one are the axanthic cell releasing the HCl, and third one are the most important cell, that is the peptic cell, which release proenzymes, that is pepsinogen and prorenin, and also releases a weak gastric lipase. All of these secretion form the gastric juice. Now this gastric juice is controlled by a hormone, that is gastrin, which is released by the argentophin cells of the pyloric mucosa. This gastrin reaches the fundigastric glands by a bloodstream. Now coming to the role of HCl. The concentration of HCl varies from 0.05 to 0.3% in human gastric juice. The HCl serves many functions. First, it disinfects the food by killing bacteria. Second, it stops the action of salivary amylase. Third, it produces an appropriate pH for protein digestion, that is, it maintains acidic pH. Fourth one, it softens the food and breaks down the cement material between the cells of the food. Next one is the most important function, that it activates proenzyme pepsinogen to pepsin and prorenin to renin. And last one, it coagulates proteins to give more time to enzyme for proper action. The inactive proenzyme pepsinogen is first split by HCl into active pepsin and inactive dipeptide in acidic medium. Then the pepsin itself continues to activate additional pepsinogen. Such an activation is called as autocatalytic reaction or autocatalysis. Pepsin is a endopeptidase and it hydrolyzes large molecules of proteins in acidic medium, that is pH 1.2 to 1.8 into smaller molecules of proteases and peptones. Similarly, the inactive proenzyme prorenin is first split by HCl into active enzyme renin and inactive dipeptide in acidic medium. This active enzyme renin then hydrolyzes soluble milk protein casein into paracasein and whey protein. This paracasein is spontaneously precipitated in presence of calcium as insoluble calcium paracaseinate, forming solid curd or coagulated milk. This curd stays in the stomach for longer period for proper action of pepsin. Pepsin converts calcium paracaseinate into peptones and proteases. The thick, acidic and semi-digested food called as chyme from stomach goes into the intestine where it is mixed with three alkaline juices. First one is the bile, second one is the pancreatic juice secreted by the pancreas, and third one is the intestinal juice secreted by the duodenal mucosa. Bile has no chemical action on proteins. Pancreatic juice release three proenzymes, that is trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen and procarboxypeptidases. Similarly, intestinal juice also contain two alkaline proteases, that is aminopeptidases and dipeptidases. All these work in the alkaline pH. The inactive proenzyme trypsinogen present in the pancreatic juice is first activated by enterokinase, which is a non-digestive enzyme present in the intestinal juice, into active trypsin and inactive dipeptide. This active trypsin then helps to convert or digest proteases and peptones into peptides. Moreover, trypsin also activates proenzymes chymotrypsinogen into chymotrypsin. It also helps in the activation of another proenzyme, that is procarboxypeptidases into carboxypeptidases. This activated chymotrypsin then helps in digesting proteases and peptones into peptides. Moreover, this chymotrypsin clots milk like that of rennin but in alkaline medium. The activated carboxypeptidases separate individual amino acids adjacent to free terminal carboxyl group of the peptides, reducing them to dipeptides. Thus, both dipeptides and amino acids are produced. Now let us understand this. For example, this is a peptide having amino group at N terminal and carboxyl group present at C terminal. This is a peptide bond between adjacent amino acids. Carboxypeptidases hydrolyze this peptide bond and separate amino acid adjacent to free terminal carboxyl group, thus forming dipeptides and amino acid. So you can see here, due to hydrolysis by carboxypeptidases, peptide bond is broken down, releasing dipeptides and amino acids. The enzyme aminopeptidases, also called as iriopsin, present in the intestinal juice, works like that of carboxypeptidases, but this enzyme separates individual amino acids adjacent to free terminal amino group of the peptides, reducing peptides into dipeptides. Thus, both amino acids and dipeptides are formed. Again taking a similar example, but here hydrolysis by aminopeptidases separates amino acid adjacent to free terminal amino group. Here you can see this forming again amino acid and dipeptide. As the name indicates, dipeptidases enzyme of intestinal juice split dipeptides into individual amino acids. Moreover, intestinal juice also contain a non-digestive protease called as enterokinase, which activates inactive trypsinogen into active trypsin. So, this is the summary of digestion of proteins. Larger protein molecules are first broken down by pepsin present in the gastric juice into smaller proteases, peptones and polypeptides, which are further broken down by trypsin, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidases present in the pancreatic juice into polypeptides and amino acids, which are further broken down by aminopeptidases and dipeptidases present in the intestinal juice into amino acid. Hence, amino acids are the end product of digestion of proteins.